Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. Hope you are all well and safe and having a great day. I've had a great day. I've been walking around the garden, taking pictures of some sunflowers that Special K and I have grown, and I've painted this painting in Artrage using lots of thick paint and all sorts of different brushes. And originally, I thought I might do painting in the style of Van Gogh or Van Gogh, depending how you want to pronounce it. Didn't kind of work out like that. It wasn't very long before I just went on a journey, all of my own, exploring colour and texture. So let's get straight into this painting. I'm going to paint this in Artrage, so first thing I need to do is open a new file, and I'm showing you this so you can see exactly what sizes I'm using. I'm going to print size, select presets, and I'm going to use A3 portrait, and the canvas collection I'm going to use. I was going to select, let's see, grain from a collection, and I fancy a coarse canvas 3. Let's go with that one. Got it. Click on OK, and that should create my new file or my new canvas ready to paint on. Should have the nice texture there, look. So let's get my reference image in. I wonder if I can drag. I've never tried this before. I'm going to see if I can drag my image, my reference image. Import, create reference image. Oh, so you drag it on, then you choose what you're going to do. So I've created a reference image. Set to normal size and rotation because it was at a slight angle. Make it bigger because we've got all these lovely raindrops on, which I need to get on the painting. So I'm all ready to paint. Let's get started. I'm really excited about this. Just get that about the same size. There we go. And I think I'm going to begin with some local colour. I'm going to use, I'll probably use some of my brushes in this one, but to start off, I'm going with a normal round brush. I want it fairly big, so I'm using the square bracket and the shift key and to make that brush as big as I can. And let's get some colours in. A bit dark that. I like the mauve though. Make it a bit lighter. Not quite blending as much as I'd like. If I zoom in, what's it looking like? I'm not too worried because there's going to be a lot of overpainting on this. I just want to sort of get some local colour over the whole thing just to start with. And I'm going to mix it up a bit. Colour wise, I'm not going to keep it the same as I'm not going to keep it the same as the photograph because I kind of want it a little bit Van Gogh like. I'm going to try the square brush. I'm just wondering why is it not mixing so much? I wonder if I I don't want to go in with a dry thick. Let's try the unclean brush. Maybe that's the one I want. So I do want the colours to blend a bit. That's better. Still not massively so, but we're getting a bit of a blend going. It is oil paints, I suppose, so we're not. It's not going to be like watercolors. But I like the way this unclean brush has changed the colour as it's come down here. We've got this more sort of a blue type thing going off. I can bring that up there a bit. Just blend that in. Get some of the purple back that way. That green up. Right, and we've got some green around here. Just a little bit. This feels like it's a 15-minute paint challenge, but it certainly isn't. It's not going to be. This is going to be quite considerably longer. Using this unclean brush to start with, as I say. Change the brush size a bit. Well, that's certainly bright. Might be a bit too bright, that one. A little bit better. Just local colour. My canvas isn't quite as wide as the photograph. I've got to compensate for that. Obviously, I'm going to tidy all of this up. It's just initial. The initial shapes going in. Go right over there, doesn't it, really? Oh, I can sort of blot this in. We didn't, when we, I don't know if I've mentioned this in a video before, these sunflowers started growing. We didn't plant them, they just started growing. I thought, what are these things? They're all coming up quite strong, a bit ugly though. And we had planted some flowers where these were growing, but not these actual sunflowers. We planted something else, I can't remember what now, but these sunflowers started to grow, and I thought, I wonder what they are. Got no idea, but so we'll go with it for a little bit. Sorry. We'll go with it for a bit and see what happens. And they were getting taller, and the stems on their own are quite ugly, really. Got this sort of really ugly looking clump of green stems appearing everywhere, and I was nearly ripped them up, and then all of a sudden it started to get these lovely big heads, or sort of what appeared were going to be flowers, so we left it a bit longer, and then all of a sudden we got these huge flowers appearing, these sunflowers, and a real treat. And we didn't know why, we got no idea where they come from, but it is near where our bird feeders are, and we wondered if in fact the seeds had fallen out of the bird feeders and self-seeded and gave us these beautiful sunflowers, and gave me an opportunity to paint them. Oh, it's looking quite childlike at the minute, isn't it? So that's the first kind of take on it, using this unclean brush. I've now got to go in. It actually works better when you start painting over where you've already got paint laid down, I think. Yeah, definitely. Now, I want to paint this in the style of Van Gogh, so we're kind of talking thick paint, really. So let's get the thick paintbrush. I'll just try the round one to start with. Make it a bit bigger. Is that gonna do it? Is that... Let's have the depth up. Brush a bit smaller. There we go. I'm going to zoom in a bit on it, I think. So you can see those brush strokes. And I'm building up this sort of background colour first, and then I'll go over it. If I make the brush smaller still and press on harder, I get even more texture. Put the pressure up a bit. What's that? It's working. It's working. Quite a time-consuming job, this, so I think this is the point where I speed it up until I've done this flower head. So this painting, I kind of want it to be a fairly fast painting. I don't want it to take me forever and ever. So I'm thinking tubes of paint might be an option. Let's go with this odd, I like the odd squeeze thing, and just to get some of these petals in. Let's up the size of the tube, because and I really do want this thick paint, and I'm not going to get it. I'm not going to get as thick as I want, I don't think. With just the paintbrushes. So I'm just gonna try these two and see if I like what I come up with. So I go to the palette knife. I'll use Hard Out Smudge. I think that might be a nice option. Just to blend some of these colours a little bit. Now the thing is, once I've done this, we will have thick paint on the canvas. Oh yeah, I just love that looseness. Makes me wonder if I should be kind of squeezing some paint on here as well. Go back to that tube. I think I'll continue with the flowers first of all. Let's get them in, and then I'll take it from there. I just felt while I was painting this center, it was all becoming a bit mechanical, and I wasn't feeling it, and this to me is way more intuitive, and I can go to speed that keeps my attention, to be honest. You know, you could almost leave these tubes of paint as a finished piece like that, couldn't you, really? There we go. Now I used the palette knife on that one. What I'm going to do this time, I'm just going to use that. What brush have we got selected? Let's choose the thick gloss brush, but put the depth up a bit. Size. So this has got colour in it, but you see, we get these real thick. There's potential for that, but I also like that palette knife. I think I just stick with the palette knife for now. Well, I was gonna do a Van Gogh style, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling this. Notice how everything's on one layer. This is getting smudged, isn't it? What other knives we've got? I don't want blur or anything like that. I do think I'm not even going to try the others. I don't like the look of them. Yeah, this is what we want. if I sort of go over it with the palette knife and then choose the brush just to do that. Put some detail in it. That's a good idea. So back to the tube again. See what I'm doing? I'm like almost drawing detail with the tube. Then using the paintbrush. What happens if I change the colour of the paintbrush? It had some nice effects. I want to get some of this background in between there and there. And just use the palette knife just to chop that away a bit. This is I'm loving this. This is way more. This bit here is way more painterly than this bit. This has got to change. This has got to change. I'm sorry. Oops, not drastically, but you know, a little bit. Squirting bits of paint, getting the tubes. This would cost a fortune, wouldn't it? Can you imagine? Get that palette knife. Hard out smudge. Thick paint. Smeared everywhere. This bit here I like. I think I'll keep that. Next to the thick paint. It's working for me. It's working for me. So, tubes of paint again. Pick up this colour. Yeah, pick up this colour. Paintbrush. I don't even know what colour I've got. Well, I suppose it'll be the same colour I've just took out the tube. Tube. This one not quite so much. Yeah, a little bit lighter. I like it. And this is one huge petal I've got going off here. Let's get that in. I need, where's my tubes gone? Get the tubes out, Steve. Palette knife and just push that like that. I think that blue makes a huge difference because it kind of just definitely breaks up those petals, even if it's just a tiny little bit, like that. Just make that blender a bit smaller. Yeah. We're getting somewhere. You know, I kind of like that dark patch up here. I think I'm gonna do something with that. Get the tube out. It just adds that bit of contrast that we need, I think. Oh yeah, yeah. Palette knife, bit bigger. Can you imagine waiting for this paint to dry? Now, tubes of paint. I've set something off now. You see, and I've got to use that. I've got a sort of greeny colour towards the line. This is evolving, this painting, definitely. Oh, that was supposed to be a leaf, wasn't it? Oh dear, oh well. So smudged together. It's all about lights and darks, you know. I swear it is. I swear. And I'm just wondering if we should just get the paintbrush, put some of this green. Just I don't know. Might be a mistake. Just reflected in that leaf a bit. That petal, I mean. You know, I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like this sort of archness. I want to break that up a bit and just blend them together. So the petals are less defined, perhaps. Tubes of paint. Now I want this colour. Well, I was just going to paint the petals. That was the plan, and I've kind of got sidetracked with this. Whoops. Yeah. Nice thick, juicy paint. Palette knife. Just blend this all together a bit. This is a lot of fun. I think I needed these dark colours to add contrast to the light petals, which were kind of going nowhere initially. I was going to have a light background and it just wasn't working. There, that's sort of better. I just want to add a bit of green now down here. Maybe a bit lighter as well, perhaps. Might be a bit too light, but we'll see. I can lose most of it. How things change. This has got to be softened, definitely. A little diffused sunflower there. Right, I'm going to crack on and get the rest of the petals in now. So we're into the detail now. I've sort of got the main colours on and everything. I've got loads of thick paint. So I want to put a little bit of detail in. So I've created a second layer and I'm using my, let's use just the thick gloss paint. Get that depth whacked right up. I've got it 75%. Yeah, no thinners. Not a huge brush at the minute. I just want to sort of flick in a few little bits of detail, maybe a bit bigger than that. I don't know why that's square. Have I got a square brush? I wanted just the normal brush. Okay, let's try again. Thick gloss, load in Make it a bit bigger. That's better. I didn't want the square brush this time. Quite often I do use a square brush, but not this time. And I'm just going to be picking colours off the canvas, and every now and again look, put a little bit of a stroke in where I think it needs it. I might try and see this pale blue. I kind of want to get some of that in there. I think that'll look quite cool. And then use the, I don't know if the palette knife will smudge that out. Maybe that's a bit too much. Just use the eraser there. That's it. I quite like that. Maybe a little bit more here. Here. Again, take the palette knife. Smudge it a bit. I'm just erasing away, rubbing away, taking away some of that. I just want a little hint of the blue in there. It's pretty cool. Back to the brush again. Supposed to be doing detail here, aren't I? Not messing about. Right, I'm going to crack on. Right, that's it. That is my poppies, sunflowers painting, painted in Artrage with loads of thick paint, and it really is sort of finished this time. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a big thumbs up as always. It's much appreciated. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I have loads of videos like this. Don't forget, everybody, keep painting, stay safe and stay sane, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.